So I don't have any updates from the last show.
I don't either.
I don't either. There's no updates on these stories. I don't know
No.
what's going on. All right, so I got another one. Kind of meets up with the last episode.
Okay.
All right. So Saturday, which was yesterday,
Right.
there were the Arkansas GOP Senator Tom Cotton and Dan Crenshaw. We all know who those
Yes,
two are.
I know those guys.
Both of them were in the service.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so they got fed up, got a little angry about this wokeness going on in the military.
Okay, the one that we talked about.
The one that we talked about
a couple of
shows ago.
Okay.
So especially in the training efforts. So what they've done is they're starting this form that military members can fill out and submit to Congress, because any whistleblower can submit to Congress
Okay.
issues, and the whistleblower can't be attacked, nothing can happen to them. Okay. So what they want to do is they want military members to tell Congress when there are woke things going on in the military.
Okay.
So from their leaders or from whoever who's supporting this woke movement within the military, they want to hear about it so they can put a kibosh on it.
And what is woke?
Well, so anything like
anything
like Marxist views, like the critical race theory,
Okay.
things like that. All white people are bad.
Okay.
Right.
When that kind of thing
But
is
things that are we're going to divide the military instead of unite the military.
Okay, I see.
Right. So that's what they're looking for, because like the Army video, Dan Crenshaw was really mad about that. He doesn't like. That's what really sparked it.
Okay.
Was that them releasing that video?
Okay.
And so they want to know about it. So that's what Congress is there for, right? They want to know about things that are going on so they can get together and stop stuff like that going. And they want to. In fact, the article I'm reading, and this, one of the things he said, he goes, for too long, progressive Pentagon staffers have been calling the shots for our warfighters, and spineless military commanders have let it happen. Now we're going to expose you.
Okay.
That was from Representative Dan Crenshaw, May 28th.
May 20. Ooh.
So, yeah.
Wow.
So he's fed up. So is Tom Cotton. So they're gonna try to go kibosh on this, and I'm sure that this current administration is gonna do whatever they're gonna try to do to circumvent that. But they're pretty mad. So
who are you supposed to email to, as a soldier? When you see some wokeness, you say like, I need to tell who.
So
did they say
this article didn't really say who they were going to complain, but you can actually go. So your complaint will legally be protected. So this is from Tom Cotton, and you can actually send it to him, to Senator Tom Cotton. So you can basically fill out the complaint, the form, and send it to them directly, to their office.
To them,
to their office, and then their staff will get it, and then they'll get it for sand. So you can do that way, and it's anonymous. You don't have to put your name on it. Right. Because you're not supposed to. You're a whistleblower. You're not supposed to. You don't let anybody know who you are. You're just whistleblowing, saying, "Hey, I saw this, and this is what's happening."
Hey, but
this needs
wait
to
a
be
minute.
stopped. But they'll tell them where it's happening at.
Right, but if the whistleblower is not known, then why was Congress, some people in Congress, opposed to naming this so-called whistleblower with Trump's phone call that supposedly that he said to this guy, that the guy who released the so-called whistleblower, that the Republicans wanted to subpoena and bring him to, and they were prohibited from mentioning this guy's name.
Right,
because no one's supposed to know their name.
Right, no one's supposed to know their name.
Right,
but then some of them did know their name.
Right.
Did know the name, because it wasn't, but that was a little different, because the anonymous was kind of, well, come on, we know it wasn't really, it was not anonymous. They were using that loophole to benefit themselves and not in actuality being what really transpired. Right. So it is, there's a loophole with it. Right. Just like most things there are, but a lot of these things are dealt with under honesty and integrity.
I understand. Here's my thing with writing something, in anonymous, is anybody can send something to Congress and say, I'm from this branch of the military, I've seen this or I've seen that. you have to provide a lot more than just a story.
Well,
that can lead to say,
okay, you can give the name of the leaders that did it.
Okay.
That's not you're the person who's whistleblowing is the one that needs to be kept anonymous. Nobody else has to be anonymous, and that gives them a chance to investigate it because now they know where to go look. Then they'll do their investigation. They'll go through their contact. I mean, I'm just speculating. I don't know. I'm sure they have a plan of how they're going to investigate this.
Okay.
This isn't new. I mean, we've had this protection for whistleblowers for a long time, but you can tell who's doing it. Like, you know, my commander in this unit, this is doing this, is saying this kind of stuff.
Now, how can that commander then look at his guys, all the guys overseas, and like, well, you know, I'm being reprimanded by so and so because one of y'all here said something here, or anybody here. So you see what they
sure, but that's a risk, right?
Right.
We're all humans.
Right.
But you can't just sit by and do nothing. You just can't sit by and let them create this.
No, I understand.
So you've got it. So sure, you're gonna. I'm sure.
They can
look, it's just like
commanders can retaliate.
It's just well, if they try to retaliate, if they find out who is, now they're in even more trouble than they already are.
Right. No, but not retaliate against the soldier who did it, but against just their battalion or their or their unit, whatever they're in charge. Like, you know what? I don't know in this group who did it, but y'all gonna pay. You're gonna PT. I don't know, like 1 o'clock in the morning. Who knows? You see what I'm saying?
Just send up another one. that there's retaliation against you and everybody.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's just like anything, right? It's just like sexual harassment, right?
Right.
It's the same thing. Those can be anonymous or they can't be anonymous. I mean, if you want to send your name in to, you know, Crenshaw or Cotton, I'm sure they'll be okay with that not being anonymous.
Right.
But if you want to be anonymous, then stay anonymous. You have that option. Okay. Me, if that was me, I'd be like, my name would be all over that thing. I'm gonna tell them exactly who I am, where I live, everything. Right. So that way they want to come find me.
Right.
I'll show you right. I'll show you right to the source.
Yeah, I'll take it right to them.
But it's like sexual harassment, you know. It's the same thing. You can be anonymous or you can say it. Right. But you do your accusations, then they do the investigation to see if what you're saying has merit. And if it does have merit, then you will continue to be anonymous until it gets to the court. Now, once it gets to a trial, now anonymity kind of goes away, right?
Right.
Because now you're gonna have to prove, he's gonna have to prove he didn't or she didn't, and vice versa, right? So now it's in a court. So
now let me ask you this: how much traction has that gotten?
Well, it just started yesterday. It's just they just pushed this out yesterday.
No, but the story that you said about we talk about the wokeness in the military. So I don't know how many episodes ago we did.
Oh, well, that's with the lieutenant colonel, right?
Correct.
Right. He wrote that book.
Oh, so about a week ago.
Yeah, it was about a week ago.
Last week.
Right. And then this comes. So we're talking within a week. They released the Army video. Then that hit the thing with the lieutenant colonel in the Air Force, and now we're seeing this weekend.
Wow.
So, yeah. So I would say we've got pretty good traction going on this.
Now let me ask you this: speculating here.
Yeah.
Do you think that we can stop the wokeness in the military?
Who knows? I don't know. It depends on how deep rooted it is.
Okay.
Depends on how deep rooted it is, and where it goes, what echelon. It all matters really where the echelon is. What's the highest echelon it's coming from, right? So if we, honestly, it's coming from the highest echelon, right?
Right. It has to.
The highest echelon.
Correct.
And then it's working its way through all the other woke, if you will, echelons below it, down to the common little individual, worker.
It has to. Because a soldier is not going to come out of his own. His how do I say it? Let me say it this way. I don't think a soldier has the authority to gather all of the other soldiers and say, like, I want to show you a PowerPoint, a video, without permission.
Correct.
So it has to come like you were saying.
Well, these are all coming from leaders. This isn't coming from lower. It's not like a bunch of the E4 mafia.
Right.
Crawling around. Hey, dude, I'm going to show you this PowerPoint. Right. Leaders don't know about it, but I'm going to tell you.
Correct.
Marxism's the way to go.
So this
right?
kind of videos,
this is coming from
this kind of videos
this is coming from DOD. This is coming from Department of the Defense, right?
That's what I was gonna say.
This is the head honchos, right?
So it's not just me. Hey man, I want to show you a video in the barracks. Show you this video,
right? And then eventually it comes from the top of the echelon, right? There's nothing past that, right? So it stops at.
When you said last week on the show that they were showing these videos, now it just came to mind. Now you mentioned this.
Right.
Is this being shown in a formal setting?
Oh, it's
Can you bring soldiers and
sure.
In kind of
nothing is
in a debriefing.
Nothing in the military as far as training or events like that. It's all formal. There is no there is informal training.
Correct.
On a small or individual, but we're talking like, I mean, this is an Army-made video. Like the one he's particularly talking is an Army-made video.
Damn.
That means we're talking the big Army.
Yes.
Right. They're the ones.
Wow.
They're the one, right. So it's coming from that echelon, approving it down, right? Because it doesn't make it to the units unless it's been approved.
Correct.
Right. Approved. Right. No training does.
Correct.
I mean, there's some training you can do, like, a leader can do to their guides without having, but usually the big, let's use an Army as an example. The big Army, right? They dictate what you're going to cover in that training to meet the standards. To meet the standards, right?
Okay.
So now, based on how that training is conducted, that can be sometimes up to the leader, as long as it meets the standards of what the big Army has set forth. These are what these men and women need to know.
So I think they can then, whoever came up with this Army video, they can track it back who produced it.
Well, they already know that's already known.
That's already known.
Oh, that's already known. That's too easy.
Okay.
That's already known. But what they're trying to get is at that level, right? So I mean, and you very well may have commanders that are taking upon themselves to do their own.
Right.
Right. I mean, it won't be the first time. That's happened before. Again, like I said, there's nobody sitting there 24/7 watching what everybody does, right? There's been a lot of leaders that have given bad orders or made bad decisions and bad training for their troops.
For their troops, yeah.
Whether that be Navy, Marines, Air Force, or Coast Guard, or Army, right? Any of the military.
All the branches,
All the branches, So, but anyway,
it's kind of interesting.
So they're finally stepping up. They're like, I've had enough.
Yes, and I really hope
we've seen enough, and we're not going to wait any longer before we act. So,
because it is really dangerous.
Like that Lieutenant Colonel from the Air Force said, that did have a command in Space Force. He said, look, it's dividing our military, and that's bad.
Yeah.
You don't want to divide the men and women within the ranks. They need to be united all the time. So you can't be sitting there telling them that white people, critical race theory doesn't have a place. Because you can't be telling white men and women in the military that you're bad, you're evil, you're the problem, right? Because that's going to divide. Now you're dividing races within the who, honestly, don't have a problem. There is no really what you call a race problem. I mean, they're all brothers and sisters.
Right.
Right. We all fight and die for each other. So.
Right.
So I don't know.
Interesting.
But that's all I got for that one.
Okay. How about this one here?
Yeah.
This last one here.
Okay.
I thought it was pretty good. Now, there's the headline. Where is it here? Hang on, let me scroll it up, right? Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Alligator named El Chompo. You know from El Chapo?
Yeah.
El Chompo. You know where this is going, right?
Yes.
El Chompo. Found guarding fentanyl and heroin stash in Pennsylvania. So the police finally arrived to this place. Someone tipped them. And so...
Did it... Before you go any further.
Yeah.
And you might not know, because it might not have said. But what did they tip them on? The alligator or the fentanyl?
That's a good question, though.
I mean...
Listen, there's some people over there.
Some dude's got an alligator.
Someone's got an alligator
in his front yard.
Maybe it's the guy from Florida who tossed it out the window.
Maybe it's the receiving end. The one that caught Like, I'm keeping this thing.
I'm keeping this.
You throw an alligator at me, I'm keeping it.
Through the drive-through, yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm going to Pennsylvania. Start a fentanyl shop in a neighborhood.
Oh man, it says that even though the gator is not a full grown into an adult yet, but the gator still was still a substantial threat and found patrolling the kitchen where the narcotics were being hidden. Dude, that was a trained gator. He was
that trained gator. If he's just roaming their house,
he was patrolling the kitchen, man.
Yeah.
Where they were cooking all the meth, all the fentanyl.
Yeah, how they had to be trained because how did he not eat them?
I know, right?
And he could keep all that fentanyl to himself, and he'd be calling up those pigs.
Yo, listen.
Hey, yo, listen, man. You bring your coke. I got fentanyl. We'll have a party.
It's not even hitting.
Yeah.
It's in my kitchen.
It's in my kitchen. Yeah, you don't gotta find it. It's right here.
That's right. Oh, you don't have to go through a forest to get
That's right. That's right.
Oh man. So anyway, so they name the gator El Champo as in honoring of the drug lord El Chapo Guzman.
Oh well.
Damn. Right.
A notorious name.
What a name.
Yeah. Infamous name.
Right. It's funny that you said that.
Yeah.
Because here it goes. As I was reading the story, they actually used the infamous, and my thought was, infamous.
Infamous. Infamous. What does that mean?
What does that
More
mean?
than famous.
More than famous. Oh man, that was a funny one. I was like, wait a minute, they used the word infamous.
Infamous.
Infamous? What does that mean? More than famous. Anyway, so then basically they cut the gator.
Okay.
And then just the police just kind of sat there and waiting for these people to show up, and then they came and they busted them all, and they took the gator. Now they did a test on the gator, make sure he was not. You know how we found that some of the shrimp.
Oh yeah.
Were high also?
Yeah, we're high. Yeah.
So they making sure that they were not also abusing the gator, just getting the gator high.
So the gator was drug free.
Yeah, he was drug free.
That's good. That's good.
He knows not to get high on your own product.
That's right. That's right. Never use your own product.
Never use your own product.
Yeah, never.
So the gator was really well trained.
Right, well trained. So my question is, I wonder, how did they know that was his name? Did they tell him that was the gator's name?
No.
Or did he have a collar on that said El Chapo? With like spikes or something,
right?
I don't know.
Spikes. What a cute name.
Right. Did they go, hey, El Chapo! El Chapo!
We're here.
We're here.
Open the door for us.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, but the gator basically was just guarding, just walking on the kitchen. That's what all the drug was. That's what.
Well, I mean, I guess I would think twice about going into a house if I saw a gator.
So the police were saying that this is a really smart strategy because people usually have pit bulls.
Yeah.
And they bark.
Right. Yeah.
So the gator basically there's no noise.
You don't know until you're
in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Until you're getting eaten.
So I wonder why they were feeding the gator so they would not be eating them.
I don't know. Rottweilers. I don't know.
Or maybe that woman from Morocco sent him.
Yeah, maybe she sent
some of the remains.
That's right. You always tie in stories with other ones. I mean,
you know, right?
These people are weird.
What?
Weird people hang out together.
The world we live in, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, let's see here. Let's see the alligator. Okay, that's what they think. They believe that the gator, quite frankly, I'm quoting here, as well from the drug dealers. This is what they were saying, the drug dealers, that the alligator may have been the brain of this whole operation.
So I'm walking down the street, I meet this gator, right?
Right.
And he's like, dude, I think we need to start a fentanyl shop in this neighborhood. And I'm like, sure, let's go ahead and do it. Really? The gator is the brains behind the operation?
Apparently.
I think the people who were running the fentanyl shop were using their product.
When they got interviewed by
when they got interviewed. Because fentanyl's pretty strict. Like you touch fentanyl and you can get, from my understanding, you can get. Because I know cops have to worry about fentanyl, like when you got to make sure you got gloves on because you touch that stuff.
You touch that stuff. Yeah.
It's pretty strong stuff.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's all I got for the stories, though. I don't have anything else.
Okay.
Unless you have anything else.
I don't have anything either.
All right.
All right.